Good evening, everyone. I am Karylle and Cejas from BSED-ENGLISH 1A. Tonight, I'll be discussing my answers regarding to this activity about Morphemes analysis. So, without further ado, let's start. Okay, so this is the first slide. In this first slide, muna siya ang mga words with morphemes nga naanay mga answers. Okay, so before discussing this one is, let's read first the instructions. Okay, so break down the following words into morphemes and identify each morpheme. Example, randomize. Randomize is divided into two words, random and IZE or IZE. Okay, so random is free. Free morpheme means can stand alone with a specific meaning. And IZE is bound and derivational. Okay, so what is bound morphemes? Bound morphemes is cannot stand alone with meaning. And also, the example is ERS, ling, ri, re, an, in, and kanisya is, ang bound morphemes is pang add-on pod siya, but dili siya maka-stand alone, nga wala ang other words. Okay, so, derivational means, derivational affix is an affix by means of which one word is formed derived from another. So, we can use derivational affix kung gusto na to siya kanang i-add sa root word para maka-form na punta og another words, another form of words. Okay, so let's proceed to number 1. Workmanship. Workmanship is divided into three words, work, man, and ship. Okay, so work, man, and ship is free morphemes because they can stand alone with a specific meaning. But ship is also derivational. Why? Because we can use this to i-add sa another words para maka-form ta og new word. For example, gamiton na to ang ship sa friends. For example, friendship, di ba? Another form na po siya of words. So, that's it. Okay, so number 2, tenability. Tenability is divided into three words, ten, able, and ity. Okay, so ten is free and derivational. Why? Because ang ten can stand alone with specific meaning. So, unsa may meaning sa ten? Di ba? Ang ten is number, di ba? So, na siya yung meaning. It is also derivational because we can use the word ten to form a new word. Kibali, ang ten is gi-add siya sa able or sa ability para kanang maka-form na pud og another word. Okay, so muna siya, isa siya sa derivational. So, ang able is also free. Why? Because it can stand alone. Naa siya'y specific meaning. And also derivational siya because we can use the word able to form a new word. We can use the word able para nga kanang pang-add-on sa root word. For example, di ba, affordable, di ba? Ang root word is afford. Then gisumpayan siya able, then ang new word niya is affordable. So muna siya. So, ang ity is bound morphemes and derivational affix. Why? Because ity is cannot stand alone with meaning. So, kung ato siyang i-search sa internet, naaman siya mugawas pero naka-add-on siya sa isa ka words or sa other words. For example, responsibility, o di ba? I-add ang ity after sa root word. So it means derivational affix siya, and also we can call this suffix because kanang gi-add siya after sa root word. So, mao na siya. Number 3, unwash. Unwash is divided into three words, an, wash, and ed. Diba? So, ang an is bound morphemes and derivational affix or derivational because an cannot stand alone. Kung ato siyang i-search sa dictionary or sa internet, makita na to nga na ay mga words nga manggawas nga naa ang an. Ang an is wala jud siya naka-separate, nakasumpay gid siya sa mga root words because ang an dili siya maka stand alone kung wala ang other words, kung wala ang other morphemes or ang root words. And also derivational po siya because we use this to add sa mga root words or sa other morphemes to form another words. Okay, so ang wash is free morphemes because it can stand alone with specific meaning. Ang ed is bound morphemes because it cannot stand alone nga siyara, nga wala ang mga other words. And also inflectional because gi-add siya sa words nga nag-refer sa mga past tense. So ang kanang mo na siya nga gitawag po siya inflectional. And also ang inflectional man good is about talking also about past tense and present tense, and also kanang changing singular into plural. Okay, so mabalaan na to ang mga example ana niya. Okay, so let's proceed to number 4. Immortality. Immortality is divided into 3 words: M, moral, and ity. Okay, so im is bound morphemes and derivational because ang im is cannot stand alone. Kung search ta og im ato siyang itry, mugawas nga mga words pero dili lang is ang im. Kung naman tayo makita nga im pero naay apostrophe, no? I'm ang pagbasa ato. Kung i-search ra po nato ang im ra, mugawas ang mga words nga, for example, improvement, impossible, di ba? Mga naana siya yung mga root words, naapod siya yung mga other morphemes. So, mo na siya nga gitawag siya bound morphemes because it cannot stand alone with meaning. Dili siya maka stand nga wala ang other words. And derivational siya because we use this to add sa other words, sa root words, para maka-form ta og another words. Okay, so mortal is free morphemes because it can stand alone with a specific meaning, and ity is bound and derivational affix. As I've said nga ang bound is cannot stand alone, ang derivational is gamito na to siya pang-add sa root words para makabuo ta og new form of words. Okay, so ang im is prefix y because gi-add na to siya before the free morphemes, before the base or the root word. And also the ity is suffix because we add this after the root words. Okay, so balik ta sa number 3. Ang an is prefix kay naguna man siya gi-add siya before the wash, which is ang free or ang root word, and ang ed is suffix because kanang gi-add siya after na sa wash, which is ang wash is ang base or ang free morphemes. Okay, so sabtan. Okay, so let's proceed to the next. Number 5, unconventional. Okay, so unconventional is divided into 4 words: convent, ion or ion, and al. Okay, so an is bound and derivational because as I've said earlier nga ang an cannot stand alone, then kanang derivational siya because we use this to kanang i-add siya sa gigamit to siya para i-add sa kanang another sa root word para maka-create ta og another apod nga word. Yeah. Kung muad ta saan, malahi naman po dayon ang meaning anang convent, di ba? Tungod sa an. Okay, so ang an is prefix because naa siya sa unahan na kapwesto. Kumbaga, an is before the base word or the free morphemes. Okay, so ang ion, if we search this into internet, na ay mugawas. So, ang pagbasa ana niya is ion. So, it means na siya meaning can stand alone. So, free morphemes gihapon siya. And also, derivational pud siya kay, di ba, as you can see sa word nga unconventional, gi-add pud siya para maka-form og another words. Okay, so ion is free and derivational. Ang al is bound morphemes and derivational because al can't stand alone without the other words, without the other morphemes, without the other root words, and also derivational because we use this to add to other words para maka-form taog another na pod nga word. Okay, so number 6, non-irritating. Okay, so non bound morphemes because it cannot stand alone without the other morphemes or without the other words. And derivational siya kay kanang we add this to form another words. Okay, so kuan siya na siya sa prefix siya because we add this before the root words, which is ang irritate. Irritate is ang root word or the free morphemes because it can stand alone with a specific meaning. It can give meaning. So, next ang ing. Ing is bound and inflectional. Why? Because ang bound is as I've said nga cannot stand alone, di ba? Kung ato na siyang i-search sa internet, sa dictionary, ang ing mugawas siya pero na siya mga sumpay. Basta anang word na surprising, legalizing, labeling, di ba? Naa sa katapusan ang ing. So it means suffix siya kay na siya sa kanang giad siya after the root word. So suffix siya. And also inflectional because we use this if ang ato ang kung nag-refer ta sa present tense, and mao na siya. Okay, so let's proceed to number 7. Cryptographers. Okay, so divided into cryptograph, and S. So it means 5, divided into 5 words. Crypto, graph, and and S. Okay, so cry. So can stand alone. So it means free. Di ba? Ang kabalo naman taon sa ang meaning sa cry. So free siya because it can give a meaning. It can stand alone without the other words. Okay, so crypto is a free morphemes because it can stand alone also with a meaning, and graph can stand alone with meaning. And also ang ER is kuan na siya kanang bound. Bound na siya because it cannot stand alone without the other words. And inflectional pud siya kay kanang ki-add siya, pang-add pud siya sa other na words. Okay, so ang S is also bound because bound siya because it cannot stand alone without the other words, without the root words. And also inflectional because as I've said, ang inflectional is refer also to changing singular into plural. Okay, so let's proceed to number 8. Unenlightened. Okay, so unenlightened is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. En, light, en, and ed. Okay, so an is bound and derivational because as I've said, no, naingon naman ako gaina nga ang an is dili gid siya maka-stand nga siyara. And also derivational siya because we add this to other words to form another words. So an pud siya. Ang an is same also sa an or sa un because bound and derivational man siya. Same also sa un, dili siya maka-stand alone. Dili pud siya. And also we use this to form another words. We add this to root words to form another words. Okay, so light. Light is free morphemes because it can give a specific meaning. It can stand alone without the other words. Ano siya ang light, free morphemes. Okay, so en is bound and inflectional. Or also, it can also, pwede po siya, mahimo siyang derivational ang en. Okay, so, ang ed is bound and inflectional. So, kanang dili na ko siya explain kay na-explain na nako kung unsa ang ed, kung nganong na-bound siya and nganong na-inflectional siya. So, let's proceed to number 9. Disproportionate. Okay, so disproportionate is divided into 4 words. What I mean is 5 words. Disproport, ION, and ATE. Okay, so ang this is bound morphemes. Why? Because it cannot stand alone with meaning, and derivational pud siya because we use this to add another words to we use this to add nga to root words para makabuo ta og another na pud nga words. For example, discourage. Ang root word is courage. We use this to form discourage. Discourage is a new set or a new form of words. And also, new na po siya og meaning. Okay, so, prove. Prove is derivational and it can be free morphemes. It can be free morphemes. Why? Because prove can stand alone and also it can give meaning, and derivational po siya because we add this to root words to form another words, new words with new meaning. So, kung gusto ta nga naatay gamiton, kung gusto ta nga mo create na pud og new words nya. For example, ang portion, kung gusto ta nga kanang ma-change na pud siya, kumbaga malahi na pud ang iyahang form of words. So, we can add the word pro to form new word. Okay, so port. Port is also free morphemes because it can stand alone with a specific meaning. Okay, so ang ION, nasugatan na natin siya gaina. Ang ION is if we search this into internet, so na siya mugawas nga meaning, no. So ang pag-read ato sa akong na-encounter nga words, ion. So na siya meaning ang ion. So it means ang ION is free because kanang na siya meaning nga mugawas, and also can stand alone without the other words. Okay, so next. So ang ion is derivational po siya because we can use this to add to the root words to form another form of words. Okay, so next is ATE or 8. Okay, so derivational siya because we can use this to add to root word para maka-form tag another word. For example, passionate, diba? Ang root word is passion. So para mas malahi na pud ang form niya nga word, para malahi na pud siya nga word is kanang dungagan na to siya ATE para mahimong passionate. Ano siya? Okay, so ang 8 also or ATE is it can be a free morphemes. Why? Because it can stand alone, it can give a specific meaning. So ang ATE nga word is na siya meaning 8. 8. So kabalo naman taon sa ang meaning sa word nga 8. So let's proceed to number 10. Mispronunciation. Okay, so mispronunciation is divided into 5 words. Pronunciate and yun or ION and CIAT. Okay, so 5 words. So let's proceed to miss. Okay, so miss means it is bound morphemes and derivational because as I've said, bound is cannot it can stand alone. Dili siya makastand nga siya lang. So ang miss is dili siya makastand nga siya ra nga word. If we search to other to dictionaries, ang mugawas is naay mugawas nga mga words, pero kung miss nga siya lang wala. But pag miss nga atong i-search daghay mugawas nga naa na siya sumpay. For example, misplace, di ba? Mo siya. One example is mispronunciation. So pang-add-on siya to form another words. So it is also derivational. Okay, so pro. Ang pro is derivational and also free morphemes because it can stand alone with a specific meaning, and also we can use this pro to form a new word. Okay, so none. None is free because it can give a specific meaning. It can stand alone without the other words, without the other root words or morphemes. Okay, so CIAT or CIAT. CIAT is derivational and bound because um, because bound siya because it cannot stand alone without the other morphemes. It cannot stand alone without the other root words. And also derivational siya because we use this to other words, the root words to form another words. Okay, so ION is free morphemes because it can stand alone without the other morphemes or without the other words. And also derivational because we use this to add to the root words to form a new word. Okay, so muna siya ang sa mispronunciation. Okay, so that's all. I hope that nasabtan ni mo ma'am ang ako ang explanation about sa ako ang answers. So that's all. Thank you and God bless. Bye.